What's going on, Beaches? Welcome to the Daily Swole podcast, episode 2696, Saturday, September the 23rd. I'm your host, Papa Swolio. Make sure you subscribe to the show. Check out all the links for joining the Swole fam over at swolenormousx.com to get access to all of our programs, nutrition, yoga, meditation, and so much more. And also, head on over to papaswolio.com. Use code Daily Swole for 10% off to pick up some epic new merch. We'll talk more about that during today's show. Today's Swole Fam Spotlight is from Josh, and Josh writes, new member, but you all have been helping me out since I came across the podcast on YouTube in July. I decided at the end of June, it was time to be healthy again, and I'm not sure what my weight was, but I had looked at the scale 2 months before that, and I was 258 pounds, and my joints hurt every day, was not able to get on the floor and play with the kids for any amount of time without hurting. I was miserable in the way I looked, cut out all soda, and I was drinking a lot of Mountain Dew and at least 3 energy drinks every day, all fast food. I was totally amazed at the amount of calories I was eating every day once I sat and figured it out. Today, in 6 months, I am proud to say I am at 204 pounds, which is at least a 50-pound difference. I can move around easier, play with the kids. I'm not completely happy with how I look yet, but I know you all will push me and keep me on track. Just remember, we all started at different places and have different backgrounds. I used to be in the gym 3 to 6 days a week in college, so I know my past experience has helped me crush it now, but not everyone loses or gains as fast as someone else. But what matters is getting a program that works for you and sticking with it. Progress may be slow, but progress is progress. The pictures were from Christmas of 2018 and this summer when we went camping. And these pictures are fantastic. Cheers to Josh. Excellent work. Some gorillas for you, my brother. Congratulations. It just goes to show, again, the Swole fam crushing it. And again, you get results if you put the effort in. It's all up to you. You have to put the work in. You have to take no prisoners and make no excuses. And that's really the name of the game. Are you willing to put in the work? Are you willing to lay it all on the line? Are you willing to execute those 7 pillars? And we always say the 7 pillars are going to look different for different people. But by cutting out soda, by cutting out all the fast food, it's a dramatic difference. It is humbling sometimes how much of a dramatic difference. That food is literal poison. So cut that stuff out of your life and get started with the Swole fam today. Join us, swolenormousx.com. We're on the brink of Fuck Your Resolution season. That starts October 1st. So you're going to be hearing a lot more about the Swole fam. We're going to be really pushing Fuck Your Resolutions this year. People in this world need to surround themselves with better community. People need to get off their ass and stop making excuses. No more cozy cardio. Go to the fucking gym. Lift some heavy weights. All right, fam, we are live. Make sure you hit the thumbs up button, subscribe, share the stream. Check all the links down below to join the Swole fam, to check out merch, and so much more. All those links are in the description. Let's get after it. The Daily Swole, the best mancast to help you make sick fucking gains. Happy Swole Saturday, everyone. Let's go in 3, 2, schwam. The following program is rated TV MANOC. It contains a big pair of nuts directly on your chin. It is intended only for mature audiences. Viewer discretion advised. Go to the fucking gym.
Obesity is epidemic in the United States and a major cause of death.
What is fat activism?
I, a fat person, am sharing my own lived experience.
Pizza is a vegetable.
Your fat phobia is your problem.
It is not my place as a smaller-bodied white man to comment on it.
Radical body positivity.
What can men do against such reckless hate?
There's only one man who can help me.
This is for you new people. I only have one rule. Everyone fights, no one quits.
This day we fight!
Full normal.
The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling. Welcome to the Daily Swole.
Testing, 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 testicles, testicles. Welcome, everyone, to episode 26 hundo and 96 of the Daily Swole, the most muscular swolecast, beardcast, broadcast, gaincast, mancast, pimpcast, sleevescast, and slaycast in that realm, because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. What's going on, beaches, booshes, busters, hustles, and yo hoes? It's your boy Papa Swolio back with another episode. And today's episode of the Beastcast is brought to you, is powered, is sponsored by Everest and K2, flexing on all you be.
It's the fucking Catalina wine mixer. The fucking Catalina wine mixer.
All right, ma'am. Fam of ma'am. We got some ma'ams in the comments. We got some Cerny, we got Loretta Elizabeth. Ma'am, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. We are live on all the apps. Make sure you catch us on Rumble, by the way. Really trying to push that platform. If you want to ditch YouTube, go and check us out. The Daily Swole is available everywhere. You can also go to thedailyswole.com. Check all the links down below for all the places you can listen, watch live, and interact and engage with the Swole fam. So every day we are live and we're putting out live streams like a fucking beast. Swole fam goes hard, and join us all those places. All right. A couple announcements before we get into, we jump right into today's episode. Yesterday, we had an overtime segment for members. If you're not a member, join us, swolenormousx.com. Brand new Drive While Gaining and brand new Balls Deep edits available now inside Swole TV for members. Go and check it out. It's awesome. Lots of great fun. So that's available. If you missed out yesterday, how dare you? Check it out right now. And of course, just 4 days away, swolenormousx.com/signature. We have P3S8. That's the website, swolenormousx.com/signature. Signature series will be available for 24 hours only, so you can purchase it over swolenormousx.com/signature. Very excited for this release, like I am all of them. They're one-time collectibles, and they're awesome. They're awesome. You will love it. If you've never gotten one before, jump on this one. It's delicious. You're going to love it. I can't wait. 4 days away, episode 2700. Very exciting times. Very exciting times for us, fam. All right, let's bust the nut open. Let's get into some Swole fam posts, and we'll jump right into today's episode. Drop in the comments. What are you smashing today? Hit the thumbs up button. Everyone, let's match the views to the thumbs up, and let's get after it. Falcon. Hashtag Swole Slut for a chance to win today's Swole card. Cheers, Leo, you raging alcoholic. Okay. All right, fine. All right, let's get into today's episode. Let's get into the tip. Hashtag SSS Swole Slut Saturday. Very excited to have you all here. Now let's moisturize and get into that tip. Babe, just an inch. It's cold outside. All right, let's kick it off with David. David says, I'm new here, been lifting for a long time. Is it necessary to do the 90-day dash? Yoga is new to me, so that would be a benefit, but I feel like I will lose all my gains from this year. Well, you certainly won't lose your gains. I'm not sure what kind of lifting you've been doing. I would say it's absolutely very important to do the 90-day dash, because the issue is you're going to be jumping into scorched earth or swole season or maximum swole. It's going to be very intense, and when you have new adaptations, you got to make sure you ease into that. So I really can't answer that question for you. I think everyone should start with the 90-day dash. You're not going to lose gains. You're actually going to build on those areas that you've never trained before. Of course, if you add a new stress like yoga and you're doing some sort of strength or vinyasa flows, it can be very taxing and it can negatively affect your heavier strength training, especially because it's a new stimulus, depending on what program you choose. So you have your options. It's up to you. We have everything available for you. So I don't know anything about you aside from this post. So make sure you go into the Facebook group and respond to David. I don't know if you're watching live, but definitely let's get a little more context. And, any of the programs are fantastic, but it really depends on, what your goals are and what your experience is leading up to this point. So if you're adding yoga in, you might be okay jumping into a different program, but at the same time, you're going to be missing out on a lot of the foundations inside the 90-day dash. So the 90-day dash, correct, it's not a bulking program. And a lot of times, just to be honest, a lot of people think that they're making a lot of gains. I don't know what kind of gains you're actually making. I don't know if it's fat, if it's water, how much muscle you're putting on, what your experience is, how long you've been training, et cetera, et cetera. So some more context there is very, very, very important. But welcome to the fam, David. I'm sure we'll figure this out for you. Debbie, howdy, Swole fam. I am here with yet another question. So I have been feeling weak in my arms from my middle delts down the side of my arm. Weak. I thought that maybe I was low on sodium, so I have really increased my salt intake, but I still feel weak. But I still feel a bit weak, a butt weak. I'm assuming a bit weak. I have a scheduled workout for tomorrow, so I'm going to see if it's a feeling or actual weakness. In the meantime, any ideas what this could be? Thanks, y'all. Weak in my arms. I have no idea what that can be, but a lot of times pain referral, if you tear or injure your rotator cuff, it will send weakness and pain and discomfort down your arm. You said weakness. You didn't mention anything about pain. It could be some sort of like impingement. I'm not sure why sodium would make you feel weak in your arms or lack thereof. I don't know what your nutrition is like. I don't know what your magnesium is like, vitamin D, sleep, mobility, your training. Maybe you're training too hard. You're not recovering enough. I could not tell you. I mean, any ideas would just literally be saying things, but anyone else know what Debbie is going through? I don't know what you're doing, Debbie. It's kind of hard to say without having a full picture of what you're doing in terms of your training and your recovery. Normal to feel weak if you're not sleeping well, if you're not recovering enough between subsequent workouts. So there's a lot of options here. Very vague, so sorry we can't be of more help. But again, there's a lot more information needed. Miranda, in the What's Up Bisha section on the discussion boards. Hello, Swole family. I hope everyone is well. I'm Miranda, 47 years old, and I'm from Australia. I am looking forward to the Swole guidance to assisting me with building consistency and making gains with my fitness. Goal is to be strong, fit, and live life to the fullest. I will be honest, I don't use social media or chat to anybody online as I am old school. I like real life interactions, so you may not see a lot of posts from me. This post is out of my norm, way out. Anyhow, all the best to everyone on their journey of fitness and life. Take care, M. Well, welcome. If you're looking for Swole guidance, then you definitely need to plug into the Swole fam. So if you don't use social media or chat to anybody online, I would just recommend tremendously that you at least join the Telegram chat so you can interact. If you want guidance, then you need to engage. We have all the tools there for you, but you're going to need to engage for accountability and to sift through and help us help you, right? So you're not in this alone. Otherwise, just saying, if you're looking forward to the Swole guidance, what's the point of joining the Swole fam if you're not going to be a part of it, right? If you're not going to plug in, if you're not going to involve yourself. So don't use this age as a crutch. My grandfather, until the day he died, he was more up on technology than I ever could be. So it's totally fine to like human interactions. That's totally cool, but definitely plug in, especially if you have any questions. You're posting up here. I know it's out of the norm, but definitely join the Telegram chat. That's really where the most action is. We use the Facebook group. We use the discussion boards. We have a Discord, but Telegram is the most realistic and the most current in terms of communication. You want to chat, you want to go back and forth, you want to share pictures, the Telegram's the best. So join us. The link's there on your homepage in your Get Started series. So welcome, Miranda. I'm not saying you have to be in there all the time, but definitely engage, get to know one another. Thank you for sharing your story, but definitely plug into the Swole fam because that's the greatest part of Swolenormous X. Very important to have that pillar number one community. All right, let's get into a couple email responses, and then we will move into some Knowledge Cock. So if you want the Knowledge Cock in your inbox, go to makeemailswoleagain.com and sign up for the email list. We send out regular emails. So let's rejuvenate that inbox of yours that is all stretched out from spam and promotions. Let's check out this. We have on how to make progress from Daniel. Daniel writes, hello. I always write down what I did and the weights I am using in order to make progress. I am dealing right now with a psoas muscle injury from not stretching properly, so I have to be careful. Best regards. All right. Best wishes. Best wishes. Definitely don't like dealing with any injuries or setbacks, but best wishes to you. From Jaume, Jaume, cool name. Hey, Papa Swolio. This is a response to, I'm not sure which email that cut off on the picture. I'm going to the fucking gym 5 days a week now. It's been 6 months of a lot of workouts, and I'm feeling stronger and better than ever. My way to feel progress, so I guess it's on the how to feel progress email. My way to feel progress is to add, as you said, some more reps or one more series with the same weight, or suddenly trying it with 5 kilograms more. I'm writing down all the sets and reps of every training, and I try to do better than that the next day. It is working great, and I won't stop doing it. When I started 6 months ago, I couldn't even do a single push-up. Now I could do 4 series, I'm assuming sets, 6 push-ups each. Let's fucking go. Thanks for all your inspiration and pushing to become a better person. Best wishes, Joe Extreme. I'm assuming that's how you pronounce it. Excellent. Good man. Good man. Good for you. Good for you. I love it. I love it. All right. Let's get into some questions. Let's get into the meat. Let's get into the meat and the... Let's get into the meat and paternities. Let's get into the meat and paternities. Ooh, a little movement. A little movement feels good. Makes me feel young again. Okay, questions. We got live questions. Drop in the comments. Hashtag Ask Papa Swolio. We got one from Noah Joke. Noah Joke 57 on Instagram. I'm trying to bulk, Papa Swolio, and I'm skinny, but not really skinny. And I eat a lot, and it's not helping. Wow. I'm trying to bulk, and I'm skinny, but not really skinny. So you feel skinny? You're okay. Well, hey, I'm trying to bulk, but I'm not really trying to bulk, but I'm skinny, but not really skinny. I eat a lot, but I don't really eat a lot, which is really what you're saying here. And it's not helping. Of course it'll help. Of course it will help. I'm trying to bulk and I'm skinny, but I'm not really skinny. And I eat a lot, but it's not helping. You're not eating enough. Easiest answer ever. Look, everyone thinks that they're eating enough. And everyone thinks, right, these fat acceptance people. And everyone's like, oh, I can't change. It just must be my genetics and blah, blah, blah. If you're not gaining, you're not eating enough. Period. End of story. If you're not gaining, you're not eating enough. A lot of people think they're eating enough. They're not. You have to get more analytical. You have to objectively eat enough protein. You have to objectively eat in a calorie surplus. You have to objectively do it. It doesn't matter if you feel full. It doesn't matter if you eat a lot. It doesn't matter what that means. Let's be real here. If you say I eat a lot, that's like saying I want to get fit. I want to get healthy. I do really good. I eat really clean. It's a vague term. It doesn't mean anything. A lot for you might be one meal for someone else. Just because you feel like you're eating a lot doesn't mean you are. And if you're eating in a surplus, you're going to be full when you're eating. A lot of people don't really understand what that means. We're not talking about garbage foods. We're talking about real nutrient-dense food and stuffing it in your face when you're full. Okay? That's not comfortable. So you might eat whatever you consider a lot is not enough. So it would help if you did it right. So definitely get a little bit more analytical and figure out what you're doing. Grizzly, is it a tad bit cold in Florida today? The only time you see with a shirt is if the nips are cold. I'm probably going to move into my shirt phase. Yeah, it's chilly in here. It's probably hot outside, but it's a great shirt. The Forest Pump design, papaswolio.com. Look at that shirt. This is a great color. I'll stand up. You can see a lot less nips. Make it special again. The Forest Pump design. It's a great color. papaswolio.com. Shameless plug. It's legit. Okay. Let's see what else we got here. SNK sneaker sex, sneakers X, sneakers, whatever. Training at night hours versus morning. All right, we'll address this. Look, I know sometimes people are new to the show. We have so many episodes and it's a daily show, so I don't expect everyone to go back and listen to every single one. It doesn't matter. If I had a choice, I would train in the morning versus night. I just think it's better overall. Get it done first. Train first. Can you get gains at night? Sure. But why would you want to train at night and then eat a lot at night? You're not going to be able to go to sleep as easy. It's not a great thing to do unless you absolutely have to. But most people just need to get up the ass crack of dawn and get it done first. You'll feel better about yourself. I would train first. Kara Alexis 03, is V-Shred a scam? Well, it depends on how you define scam. If you don't know who V-Shred is, he's a cringe OG. He doesn't know a damn thing about fitness or nutrition. His products are cringe. His videos are cringe. He's notorious for stealing content and making content showing that he knows nothing about what he talks about. So whatever his team does or whatever he does is just marketing related and preying on people that don't know their ass from their elbow. So I guess technically that's a scam, but I don't think it's necessarily a scam because I don't really know what products he has. I've never actually signed up or bought anything that he does. I just don't like his content. I don't like his face. He's made so much garbage content in his life and said so many stupid things. It's just, there are better choices out there, like the Swole fam. So in terms of a scam, a lot of things that he says are not true, but a scam, I guess there might be a technical definition of what would, I guess, making a claim that's not true or saying that your product will solve an issue that it won't. I don't know. He just seems like a useful idiot that a sleazy sales and marketing company just used to sling whatever product they want, whatever supplement or whatever thing. It's just, hey, because you could look good and not know what the hell you're doing because it's genetics. It's how you eat. You can do push-ups and lift without having 5 brain cells. It doesn't take an intelligent person to lift weights and get results. To really excel, I think it does take an intelligent person or someone who's actually invested in figuring out how the body works. But you can lift heavy things and build muscle. Everyone's different. Some people respond better than others. Because a lot of people that are literally rock for brains that can have nice physiques. Doesn't mean that you know what you're talking about. Right? Just because you could do it yourself doesn't mean you understand how to explain it to other people. All right. Abdullah Latif, 77, Papa Swolio, is cardio important? Yes. There's your answer. Not really a question with a lot of depth or looking for a lot of depth. Is cardio important? It is important. You should have cardiovascular capacity. So I think the real question is, do I need cardio for whatever you're doing? If you're trying to put on as much muscle as possible, is cardio important? Yes, but less important than lifting heavy weights, your nutrition, etc. Is cardio important for getting leaner? It's not really a factor. It's about energy balance and quality nutrition, sleep, lifting, all those things. So I think it's important. How much you focus on it depends on what you're trying to accomplish and your goals and your needs. Let's see here. Kara Alexis again. All right, just absolutely spamming my inbox. How to get, did we do this already? I feel like we did this already. Maybe it's a duplicate. How to get rid of chin fat. Stop eating cake. Stop eating cake. Get off the cake.
Another example of cake gender would be if someone feels like they have different layers or flavors to their particular gender.
You can't spot reduce fat. You can't spot reduce fat. VFLRN09. Papa Swolio, I can't go to the gym. The doctor wouldn't let me go. Okay.
Attacks on me, quite frankly, are attacks on science.
Is that a question or a statement? I'm sorry about that, but you can practice meditation, maybe yoga. I don't know what you're cleared to do. Do what you're medically cleared to do, and best wishes. All right, Pops 1120. Any tips on properly leaning out after bulking without losing gains? Well, I'll give you a couple insights without having further information. A lot of people don't bulk long enough. Bulking for a couple months is usually you're just gonna go back to the way you started or lose more. A lot of people don't eat enough protein. You only need a slight calorie deficit. You need to stuff fucking protein in your mouth. That's really, really important. and lifting hard when you're in a slight deficit. You don't need a massive deficit because you want to maintain your muscle and you need enough protein. It's very hard to do that. You want to do it slowly, especially if you're doing it naturally. So properly eating out, it would probably just mostly be playing with keeping the protein high, playing with the fat and carbohydrates, probably easing up on the carbs a little bit, whatever carbs you're consuming. And yeah, just make sure that you understand body composition, because a lot of people, they bulk for a couple months and they cut, and they just cut what they just gained. So really bulking or putting on muscle, you should be taking a lot more time, probably like up towards a year or so, to successfully put on significant muscle. Because remember, when you're bulking, you don't want to do too much. You don't want to get fat, but you're putting on muscle. You're putting on fat and water as well in smaller quantities, depending on your caloric surplus. Lindsay, why is Instagram garbage? How is it garbage? How is it garbage, or what's garbage about it in your opinion? Definitely pros and cons. Definitely pros and cons, that's for sure. Oh, you mean why are the Instagram questions garbage? Well, I think it's because there's a lot of children online that ask, and a lot of lazy people that ask stupid questions, but also there's limited text. So if you ask a question on Instagram, you can't give like a paragraph. That's why it's really good for Swole fan members or people to send in an email or call into the show. Then you can actually give some context. And I think also when we talk about critical thinking and intelligence and proper education, not necessarily indoctrination, but actual education, asking a good question is a skill. And most people have no idea. They're like, they want muscle and abs. They're like, how lose fat? I want muscle. What do? They don't understand how to formulate a coherent question, providing the contextual information that will give the person being asked the question the ability to answer effectively. If you ask me like, how get abs? I'm going to be like, go to gym. If you ask me a stupid question, you're going to get a stupid answer. Vague questions get vague answers. How do I get in shape? Listen to the 3,000 episodes we've done. I'm not going to waste my time with a lazy question. So the more specific you can get and the more tactful you can get with your question, the better of an answer you'll get. But it's also the limited characters. And sometimes it's second language, but a lot of times it's lazy questions and people not understanding how to formulate a question. Darazmi, how many days a week should I rest? Not the question, right? The question should be, again, here's a better question. Or let me answer your question with a question. How much recovery, are you recovering enough from session to session? Are you recovering enough? Is your body systemically recovering from workout to workout? And are you giving yourself enough recovery, and are you recovering properly, following the 7 pillars, in order to execute the same body part again the next time you train it? If you're training chest every day, you're not repairing anywhere near sufficiently. Depending on the volume and the intensity that you train, maybe 3 days is enough. 3 full days, or at least maybe 4 days required, maybe 6 days, maybe once a week, maybe once every 9 days. Depends on your volume, your intensity, and how often you can train. So how many days a week should I rest is irrelevant. Depends on intensity, volume, et cetera, and how quick. Everyone recovers a little bit differently. Ali, Papa Swole, this might be a stupid question. Par for the course, but exercise to make your shoulders even. What do you mean? One shoulder's bigger than the other? Then train the one that's not as big and ignore the other one until you bring it up to balance. Seriously, don't train bilaterally. Make sure you fix compensations. Make sure you have good shoulder mobility. But if you have one shoulder, definitely whack off with the other arm. Don't always use the same arm. Become ambidextrous. But, I would make sure that you are biasing the one that you need to bring up if you're looking for balance. If you're looking for, like, my left one's smaller than my right, then focus on the left one. You can do cable exercise. You could do things that will isolate that one arm more. If you want to... Lizzie says, I didn't expect Papa to answer that. It was rhetorical. No, I think it was... I thought it was a question originally. Like, why does Instagram suck? I didn't even process that you were talking about the questions. It is rhetorical. It is rhetorical. But I think it's good to answer that because some people might be listening like, why are these questions so bad? It's also like the context under which they're asked. Not everyone understands how like a question feature might be on Instagram. Okay, let's see. But that's why, we're here every day for the questions. If you have live questions, I'll bias those, but otherwise we will take all the Instagram questions. All right, remember, fam, let's go back to the screen. Make sure you use the hashtag #SSS, hashtag SwoleSet for a chance to win today's Swole card. Let's take some more questions. Again, if you want a live question, hashtag AskPapaSwolio. Bro from 6V Hamza 06. Bro, my strength gone. See what I mean? Me, Tarzan, you, Jane. My strength gone after I am feeling unwell. That's a statement. Yeah, if you're sick and you're not training and your body is worn down, just because you don't have a headache anymore doesn't mean you're not recovering. Okay? You do realize that when you're sore from training, you're not really recovered until a couple days after your last day being sore. If you're physically destroyed and your muscles are physically sensitive and your body is guarding the muscles and the tissue physically damaged, it's not like, hey, I don't feel sore anymore. I'm all fixed. It just might not be to the threshold of causing you physical pain. Okay. Let's see here. Let's see. Second Gen Master live question. Papa Swoley, I work 10 hours, 4 days a week and do about 30,000 steps a day. What are your thoughts on just lifting on my days off? I'm doing carny OMAD and don't have energy after work and like to lift in the morning. I'm not really sure what the question is. Just lifting? Why wouldn't you just lift on your days off? Oh, you mean only lifting 3 days a week? It might not be enough. It might not be enough for you to get the volume in you need or enough training. I mean, the amount of steps is really not, people really put all this focus on like getting X amount of steps. I mean, it's just, that's great. You're doing movement, but your body adapts to that. It's not like it's getting you healthier. It's not like that's cardio for you or that's moving you closer to your goals. So I would definitely lift in the morning. Going to be challenging, to be honest, to put on muscle just doing carnivore without any carbohydrates. That's definitely going to be a hard thing to do. That's why I don't like full carnivore. I don't feel great on it. 1 meal a day. I'm also not really a fan of 1 meal a day. I don't do intermittent fasting. I don't really fuck with that. I just feel much better when I'm having like kefir in the morning and nutrients throughout the day, especially if you're trying to put on muscles, especially if you're trying to bulk. I mean, can you do things like quote intermittent fasting and put on muscle? Maybe. It's just much harder when you give yourself a time restricted eating window. People dramatically underconsume protein and nutrients. So it depends on what your goals are and what you're trying to accomplish. It sounds like I'm not sure what you're trying to do is kind of my point. Like, what are you actually trying to accomplish? And that will give a little more insight. Is 3 days, can you make gains with 3 days? Sure. But there's a reason why people that are more advanced with training don't just do 3 days a week. Like a lot of times more or splitting up your body parts, a different split can be more beneficial. Second Gen Master follow-up. Start at 5 a.m. and gym isn't open then? Damn, got to get yourself a new gym. All right, so that makes sense, unfortunately. And I'm not bulking, but cutting. Still, I mean, my point stands. The cutting is like, that's just going to be energy balance and getting enough protein. And with 1 meal a day, you're not going to be getting enough protein. With 1 meal a day in carnivore, like it's going to be very hard. I know you're doing carnivore, but you can only eat so much at one sitting. Now, I'm not making the argument that, you could only absorb 30 grams of protein at a meal. I don't believe any of that stuff. I think it really depends. But you try eat, you're going to eat what? I don't know how big you are. You're going to be eating 150, 200 grams of protein at one fucking meal. Good luck with that. Good luck with that. You're not getting enough calories into the day. You're probably going to be losing a lot of muscle mass over time because that's going to be not a lot of calories. Just saying. Cutting is maintaining muscle and trimming body fat. You don't want to just lose. All right, let's see. Andrew Parry, Papa Soy, what muscle groups does stacking and cutting firewood target? trying to explain to my kids this is work and a workout. I would. Physical activity is not training. Just saying. So yeah, I mean, it's physical activity. I mean, doing a lot of things, you know, putting something up on a shelf, like putting a mug up on a shelf works your deltoid, but is it working your deltoid? Right? Are you getting overload? So it's cardio. It's endurance, I suppose, but it's not necessarily going to, you know, doesn't mean you can't build some muscle or strength, or it's more endurance. What muscle groups? Anything you're working. I mean, abs, triceps, chest, arms, like it's working a lot of muscles. Like if you're just doing this, I mean, think of all the muscles that bring the arm down. I'm not really sure why it matters. It is physical activity though. It's like doing 30,000 steps is not like going to get you big legs. Chopping wood's not going to get you jacked. It might fatigue you. It might get you sore, but you can't mistake fatigue and soreness for building muscle. So again, physical activity is not training. Working out is not training. We use some of these vernaculars, some of these words interchangeably, but training is usually, you know, physical activity with a specific input for a specific output. It's periodized, it's programmed, it's with intent. A workout is just physical activity. So yeah, it's a workout in terms of physical output. Let's see. Pedro, Papa, recent studies are talking about the effects of a fully stretched position while lifting and incorporating isometrics into lifts as well too. Seems many folks focus on concentric. Yeah, I mean, lengthened partials are great. I don't do as many things like negatives and stuff like that. Sometimes at the end of a set, but a lot of times that's just more fatigue without necessarily hypertrophic benefits. So it depends on what you're trying to accomplish. But certain muscles are geared towards stretch-mediated hypertrophy, like the chest or the calves, for example. That the bulk of what you're going to get in terms of like hypertrophy is going to be from a lengthened position. So for the calves, you want to like drop if you're doing standing calf raises, get that stretch for like 5 seconds at the bottom, explode up. You don't have to necessarily hold at the top doing like people bounce and do like tippy toe stuff. That's not really getting the most stress on the calves. The calves are going to get that hypertrophy from more of a lengthened position. Same thing with the chest, full stretch. Even like lengthened partials would be like just getting a couple force reps at the bottom, but you can't get all the way up. Same thing with calves. When you're fully stretched, you kind of just get as high as you can, stretch again. It's burning like crazy. Get as high as you can, stretch again. It might seem, it's like short reps, but it's lengthened partial reps. So different muscles will respond differently to that type of stimulus. Okie dokie. Good questions. And remember, if I answer a question, definitely looking forward to hearing a follow-up. Second gen master talking about the 30K steps and stuff. Down 10 pounds in the last 2 weeks. I'm feeling great. That's a lot of weight. Just saying. That's a lot of weight to lose in 2 weeks. So is that just water weight and muscle mass? Like if you're trying to like cut, you're losing. I don't see that all being like necessarily water and fat. I don't know what you're doing before and what you were eating before. If you're doing a lot of carbs, I don't know if you're doing carbs and you went carnivore, you're just flushing out water. So it's water weight. But 10 pounds in 2 weeks, if you're trying to cut and maintain muscle mass, is too much. That's very fast. So I have a feeling you extremely cut your calories, you dropped your carbs, you're flushing out water. And at that rate, you're going to start cannibalizing muscle if you're not careful. I'm not a fan of the one meal a day in terms of maintaining muscle mass. You just can't get enough nutrition in. Again, it depends on what you're trying to accomplish. If you just want to lose body mass, then yeah, you could do that with a lot of different things. If you're trying to maintain muscle and strength and stuff, then it's a whole other thing. Oh wait, we got an extra stupid question today. Robert says chicken wings or gym. It's very difficult. It's not. Go to the fucking gym. It's the easiest answer ever. Easy answer. Alex Manza. Papa, I've been to the gym since 15. Now I'm 19. I don't have my dream gains. What do I do? Why would you have your dream gains when you lifted for 4 years? You're a beginner. That's novice. 4 years is not expert level. And you're 19. You're not even a fully formed human being yet. Your brain isn't fully formed yet. You keep going. You don't have your dream gains. No one does. No one ever will. Keep working hard. You're just beginning. Good for you. J.I. San 7983, Papa Solia, best foods for a cut. There are none. It's just a calorie deficit. But of course, food quality matters. So you want the calorie deficit, but with nutrient dense food. A lot of people eat nutrient void food. They just try to measure the calories and they're lacking nutrients. So then they have these binges or these cravings and they don't sleep well. And, if you're eating nutrient dense food, it's hard to eat in a surplus. So it's actually welcome to be in a slight deficit. You're going to be satisfied nutritionally. So best foods for a cut, I would recommend elimination diet, but grass-fed beef, pastured eggs, high quality like wild fish or pastured corn and soy-free chicken, some fruits depending, avocado, cooking, grass-fed butter or raw butter. Raw dairy is fantastic. I mean, best foods is really relative, but nutrient dense, highest quality animal foods you can get are a fantastic place to start. Check out Content Elimination Diet. Let's see. K134915. We get the parents in the comments to respond to this. How to push kids to do workouts. Your kids, I don't think you should push. I think you should lead. You should be doing this stuff on your own. Kids don't like hypocrisy. They don't like to be told what to do. But if they see you doing it, they usually want to emulate you if you're the parent. So, and also explain. Don't talk to them like they're if you have a young child, talk to them like an adult. They appreciate it and they'll ask questions and they'll want to be more involved. Don't be like, you have to because I said so. Like those kinds of things don't really generate any kind of inspiration, but just talk to them, explain why and lead by example. Take them outside, do things that are more exciting. Being in one spot, doing yoga on a mat, some kids might like it, but a lot of kids are going to get distracted. Also, if you're eating really good food, they'll have less like attention issues and things like that because they won't be hyped up on sugar. Yeah, take them to the park, let them run around. Kids need to move. Kids need to like fall. They need to get banged up. Kids need to do more high risk activities as long as they're safe, but they need to learn the boundaries. And that's what you can be doing as a parent, learning the boundaries or teaching them the boundaries of like kind of physical rough and tumble play and climbing trees and swings and playgrounds and stuff. They don't need like heavy weights. They just need physical activity. So let them run around and eat dirt and shit. Let them climb trees. Tyler Terzupek. Papa Slay, what are good protein options for a tightly budgeted college student? It's really hard for me to recommend foods that are lower quality, but same thing's going to apply. Beef, chicken, eggs, fish. Maybe you can find some BPA-free canned fish, sardines, salmon. I don't want to recommend things that I personally wouldn't eat, but if you're on a tight budget, I understand sometimes you can't afford, even all things being even. We talk about long-term, we talk about not buying junk food and how the price can even out. Still, objectively, grain-fed beef is less expensive than grass-fed and grass-finished beef. So maybe, just putting it out there, maybe you and a few friends want to go in on a bulk order and you can split it. But if you're doing this by yourself, still opting for animal foods is going to be your best choice. Don't get into like eating beans and fucking rice. I mean, rice can be a good thing, but like white rice, but washing it, making sure it's clean. But in terms of, you don't want to go down the cheap vegetable oil and plant proteins. So you can still just get the highest quality animal proteins that you can. All right. Armand Siraj 2099. Can I eat raw eggs and beef liver? Raw eggs and raw beef liver? I'm not going to recommend anything, but I'm going to tell you what I do. I have eaten raw eggs. I will put like a couple raw yolks in protein shakes or in like sometimes are like soups or things like that, or on a burger or on a steak. So, I mean, I've had so many raw eggs in my life and I've never had any problems. So people are like, oh my God, it's dangerous. You're going to get sick. Never have. Been eating raw eggs I've been eating raw eggs. Now I really opt for organic, pasture raised, blah, 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 like the highest quality I can get. We used to have chickens at home. I've been eating raw eggs for 20 years, over 20 years. I've never had a problem. So I'm just saying I've never had a problem. So I don't eat raw eggs all the time. I definitely went through a period where I was just eating raw eggs all the time. When I was like hardcore bulking, like in the early 2000s, like in 2002 and 3, I was just bulking, drinking eggs. So I've never had an issue. Just saying. So, and raw beef liver, yes, but raw 100% grass fed and finished beef liver. I do have that almost every day still. So that's what I do. Can you? You can, but whether or not you should, I'll let you be the judge of that, but I do. Positive charisma, generally speaking, when bulking, are you eating even when you're not hungry? Yeah, sure. When you're bulking, hunger is not the concern. The concern is getting enough protein, getting enough calories. So if you're bulking, it's irrelevant if you're hungry. Because if you're eating in a surplus, by definition, you're getting more energy than you require. So you should not be hungry for everything that you're eating. That's why if you're bulking, you want to break up your meals, because if you're trying to eat 3,000 or 3,300, whatever calories in a day, try eating that in one meal with real food, you are going to vomit. It's probably going to be impossible. I couldn't do it. You eat a nutrient-dense food, you have steak and a sweet potato or white rice and this, you'll eat a ton, it's like 800 calories. It's not as much as you think. That's why fat's very effective, and people do a lot of shake. That's why people do shakes and stuff, and they try to blend things, and eggs can be beneficial because they're softer, right? It's not as a timely thing to chew and break down. Plus, if you're bulking, protein actually uses a little bit more energy to digest. So, people try to fill in the gaps with fats and carbs. So it really depends on how your body reacts to it, but you're eating objectively to get enough calories in and protein in. Whether you're hungry is it doesn't matter. It's time to eat. Are we talking about quinoa salads? Oof. 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 Don't talk about quinoa in the Telegram chat. Get that sand out of people's minds. Quinoa. Let's see. Lindsay, y'all OMG. I got told that raw dairy was illegal. The girl was so snooty about it too. Twat waffle. Who are we talking about? Raw dairy is illegal in a lot of states, but it depends. If it says for cats and dogs, a lot of times it can be sold. So we order ours online, and every container says for cats and dogs. Because if they say for cats and dogs, not for human consumption, humans can buy it for their cats and dogs and just drink it. So that's what we do. Everything says for cats and dogs, it's stupid. It's stupid. Some states you can sell it within the state, no problem. But if they ship it outside, they have to put it in different packages. Again, it's retarded. I see some videos on TikTok where it says, well, a lot of people say raw dairy, but there's so many problems. There's a reason why we pasteurize stuff. People are just not intelligent. They're just not intelligent. Yeah, if you're getting low quality, dirty stuff and you let bacteria grow in it, yeah, of course you can get sick. But I have no doubt that some of the stuff that we consume, like when you build a healthy gut biome too, if you have any kind of imbalances, like I eat raw liver all the time. Do I think that there isn't anything in there? Like there might be, but my gut biome and my body can probably fight off or has a positive balance in order to neutralize whatever. A lot of times when you have issues with bacteria, it's an overgrowth, it's an imbalance. And if you're taking antibiotics and ibuprofen and you're destroying your gut biome all the time, then it'll allow less optimal or bad bacteria to grow and to cultivate. Let's see. Sheena, I've put raw yolks in my coffee mixed with a little grass-fed half and half, makes coffee super creamy. It's interesting. It's questionable, but interesting. I've never tried that. Very interesting. Let's see. Stephanie says, cutting foods. I'm having trout and quinoa salad for breakfast now. I will feel full until around 4. Is that because you're bloated? I don't know. I think quinoa, I hate that kind of stuff grosses me out. Do I like wild fish? Sure, I like wild fish. Lacey, my quote, lactose intolerant kid is drinking raw milk just fine. A lot of people won't have problems from raw dairy, but let's say any of you that have issues with raw dairy, try making raw milk kefir. Try making kefir. It breaks down the lactose, and I don't have any problems with it. So if I drink just a straight milk, even though it's A2 milk, I'll have like my stomach will, I'll still have like some digestion. But you make raw milk kefir, it breaks down the lactose. I have no problems. I chug that stuff. I love it. Kefir is amazing. Kefir is amazing. SH, I don't know a source of raw dairy here. My friend is in PA and she got it from a Mennonite or Amish farm. Her boys loved it. She had to limit them to 1 glass a day. Yeah, Pennsylvania has a bunch of farms. There's Miller's Bio Farm. There's Dutch Meadows Farms. You can order online anywhere in the States, so check those out. Let's see. Lindsay says, I literally have been buying it, and I asked because she works at Sprouts. I asked if she knew of any farms in the area, and she goes, that's illegal. It's not in Texas. Well, go to realmilk.com if anyone's interested. There's a map. You do a search of your location. It'll give you places where you can buy raw milk, or you can order it online. All right. Let's see. We'll do another question or two, and then we'll watch a Balls Deep bid. 1 N Vank, 1 BL5. Can I skip cardio? Sure. I don't care what you do. I don't care what you do. Let's see. Shandila 7145. Papa Sway, if I start martial arts training along with hard hypertrophy training, will 7 to 8 hours of sleep be enough? Probably not. You're probably going to be under recovering. So martial arts training depends on what kind of training that is and how many days you're doing hard hypertrophy training. 7 to 8 hours of sleep, it doesn't matter if you get 9 or 10. Just because you can sleep for 12 hours doesn't mean you're going to be recovering. Time is time is time. So if you're not giving your body enough repair, it doesn't matter if you sleep 9 hours or 8 hours. Sure, more sleep or enough sleep. It's not really more, it's quality deep sleep. So, but that's one of the reasons why I didn't get into martial arts training a while back. I started taking some lessons and stuff with like BJJ. This is like more than 10, probably 12 years ago. And it was just like, it was going to affect my lifting. And I just didn't want to, I still like lifting too much. I want to prioritize that. High risk for injury. I mean, it's great. I think it's fantastic. If we have kids, they're going to get involved with it super young. And that's probably when I'll get into it so I can do it with them. But, it just wasn't a priority at the time. But it's a lot. So again, can you do both? Sure, you can do both. But again, whatever you put your body through and whatever you subject your body to, you have to make sure that you are focused. Like, what's your priority? What are you trying to focus on? If you're going to do both of those things, yeah, one's going to compromise the other. The heavy lifting and the fatigue from that is going to negatively affect your martial arts training, and martial arts training is going to take away from your focus on building muscle. It's just going to, because you're using energy, you're fatiguing yourself more, you're going to negatively affect your recovery, you're pulling your body in different adaptation directions. So can you do both a little bit? Maybe at the beginning, but you also might be likely to get hurt too. If you're really sore and tight and you're doing like grappling and end range submissions, like you can tear anyone that does martial arts. It's not like you're doing physical training. And plus when you start out and you're, with a lot of white belts and people that don't know limits and get too over aggressive and they're spastic, like most people, or I shouldn't say most, but most of the stories that you'll hear of people getting hurt, even higher belts get hurt with white belts, with beginners, that people that don't know their strength, they don't understand, they don't understand their body well enough. They haven't learned. Dave, I'm looking from the Telegram chat. Last question. I'm looking at competing first time. Competing for what? I want to do it in a healthy way, starting with the 90-day dash. I have a year, so where do I go from there? I can't answer that question right now. I don't know what you're referring to, Dave. Did you ask? Was this the post we read at the beginning? So if so, I would rewind the podcast. We might have introduced you. Yeah, David. So that was a vague post in the Facebook group, so we addressed it at the beginning, but definitely give us some more. Figure? Are you a female, Dave? They don't have men's figure, do they? figure like bodybuilding. Well, that's all right. Let's move on to some balls deep content. All right, fam. Here we go.
That's deep.
What I will say, I mean, the 90-day dash, that's great. But I mean, the 90-day dash has nothing to do with bodybuilding. Where do I go from there? It really depends. You know, what you're trying to compete in. If you're doing physique, you mean? Maybe you mean physique. I mean, these aren't necessarily bodybuilding programs, but Maximum Swole is a great one. Swole Season's a great program. You know, when it comes to physique, if you're looking at competing, you know, you get a coach, you look at what you have to build and what you have to work on, what areas you want to bring up for proportions, and that's going to really determine what your programming is. So bottom line, some of our other programs like Maximum Swole, for example, you know, you customize and you prioritize the body parts you need to work on. So for physique, that's where you really need to understand, hey, I need to bring up this body part. So you should focus your programming around optimizing recovery and intensity for that body part. So it really depends on you as an individual. All right, let's get into balls deep. Let's see. We got time for, maybe we got time for at least a video here. Let me see a couple. We'll do the short one first. I do see a really short one, so we'll get that out of the way. I'd never want to see her face again, but too late for that. This one's called Studies. And hit the thumbs up button, share the podcast. The question on the screen says, my parents are obese and have been for decades, but they are pretty healthy and active for 80/90. Could be a lot worse. Okay, let's see what we got here. What are we talking about?
Good for your parents. There are a lot of studies that show that being overweight as an older adult has a lot of health benefits. So glad they're active and doing well.
I love to see these studies. There are studies that show being overweight as an old adult has a lot of health benefits.
We choose truth over facts.
That's a lie. That's absolutely nonsensical. If you're obese, you are not healthy objectively. And it's exceptionally dangerous to be obese and elderly. If you even get that far, there's a reason why you don't see a lot of obese elderly people, because they're already dead. Yeah, that's one of the stupidest things that we've covered on this show, like in history.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Hashtag Swole Slut for a chance to win today's Swole card. Hashtag Triple S. Woo-wee. All right, that was bad. Let's take a vote though. Number one, pick a number 1 through 4. We'll do one more. Number 1, number 2, number 3, or number 4. Good show today. Good questions.
What's in the box?
Good questions. So anytime now that you hear, look, you need to be able to understand and to learn and to think and critically think for yourself. Just because someone says, oh, there's a study. Most people don't understand how studies work. Like, there are thousands of studies, and a lot of them are terribly executed. They're not repeatable. They don't have a good sample size or population size. They're not peer reviewed, or even if they are, the peers are biased. They're part of the same clique. They are sponsored, or the studies are being funded. Like, all this matters. So, you know, if the study's funded by a drug company that has a drug for elderly people, it's like, of course, it'd be like, well, this is really good. This is really good for... All right, let's see here. Let's go with Sheena, number 4. Sheena, number 4.
Yow.
All right, well, there you go. Here's a gem. This is gonna wrap things up nicely and put a bow on it. Maybe a rainbow. It's called Trans Men, aka the Whammon. Just to help you out.
Boys have a penis, girls have a vagina.
Okay, let's see what we got here. Trans men. Drum roll, please.
Trans men don't need to be like cis men at all in order to be men. Trans men don't need to know that they're a man from a really young age. They don't need to play with trucks as a little boy. They don't need to hate the color pink and purple. They don't need to hate dresses. Trans men can love to wear makeup. Trans men can be of any sexuality.
I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay.
Trans men can be of any sexuality. This is like Dr. Seuss, where it's like on beyond zebra. This is well beyond any kind of comprehension. So I really recommend, if you're new to the show, you're listening for a while, don't try to understand it, because you can't. There's nothing to understand. Trans
men don't even have to feel like men if they don't want to. They can be bigender and feel like both man and woman. They can be non-binary and feel like both either a combination of the two or something completely different.
Oh yeah,
They can use he pronouns, she pronouns, they pronouns, it's, neo-pronouns. They also don't have to be predators in the way that some people think cis men are. They don't invade queer spaces because they are queer people and they have lived experience as a marginalized gender. They aren't inherently harmful because being associated with masculinity doesn't make anybody harmful. They don't have to go on testosterone or want to go on testosterone. They don't have to want top surgery. They can want to have breasts. They can want to have a vulva. And none of those experiences invalidate the experiences of any man, cis or trans. Because gender is literally anything that you want it to be and can look like whatever you want.
No shit.
And the most beautiful thing about being trans is that every single person does it differently.
I already hit the soundboard for no points, so I can't do it again. I can't hit the same soundboard, but I would if I could.
You want the baby boy's hole, you gotta pay the troll toll. You gotta pay the troll toll to get in.
Get into that boy's hole. Wow. I think, we've covered a lot of videos on the show. Is it just me, or does that video I feel like that wraps up every video we've ever covered. I feel like that's just anytime. I'm sure we will, but I don't think we ever have to cover a trans video again. That's literally just the video. That's it. Stephanie says it's your show. Do it. No, I know, but I already hit it. So just, that's assumed, right?
Because of the implication.
Yeah, that's pretty much any video you could possibly think of. That's that. We could just reference that. Nancy says basically trans is made up. That's what the person said. Any gender, any sexuality. In other words, if I say this, it's true and you have to agree. That's the translation. Whatever I say is bond. Because I said it, whatever I want to be, whatever I want to say I am, I could be anything. It's make-believe. It is. It's made up. It is made up. It is made up. Now, some people go through their life and they want to have surgery and they want to live as if they were the opposite. They won't be. They can never be, but they're going to, that's, if you have a free country and people have choices, that's a very, very small fraction of a percent of the population. But this is like, hey, I want to play make-believe. I want to have a tea party and you have to play the tea party with me. I'm like, no, Papa don't tea party. I don't want to play that game. But what's happening is you're being forced to play this insane game with ever-changing rules that makes no sense. Okay.
Well, I could be wrong, but I believe diversity is an old wooden ship that was used during the Civil War era.
All right, we're going to do a throwback, but let's get into the Swole card first. Let's give away the Swole card. Everyone, hashtag triple S in the comments down below. Let's give away this beesh right now. Falcon, take us away. It's Swole card time. My God. Good Lord. Another one fallen to the Wu-Tang sword. What we got here? We got a winner in the Telegram chat. Who is this? Oh, it's Elizabeth. Oh, I landed in the Telegram chat. Congratulations, Elizabeth.
Congratulations!
I'm still figuring out. I'm just going to give a birthday cake. Congratulations. send us an email to support@swolenormous.com, swolecard 2696 in the subject, and your mailing address in the body of the email. Congratulaciones. All right, with a Telegram chat. Are you in both? Oh, are you in both? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That could be a protocol breach. Congratulations. We got some soundboard requests. Let's have a... Ooh, let me get rid of that.
I'm the most wanted man on my island. Except I'm not on my island, of course. Most efficient.
The eyes, Chico. They never lie.
I don't work with the males, because I used to be one.
Loud noises!
Oh, the Tainty Man. I might wear this shirt forever. What a great shirt. Oh, I love it. I love it. It's like my new favorite shirt. I'm going to wear the hell out of this thing. It's going to be ratted and tatted in no time. Look at the Tainty Man.
I am untethered and my rage knows no bounds! You're insane, gold member!
You can be fat and be healthy. I'm sorry, Lizzo, healthier than I will ever be.
Oh my God. Oh, I didn't expect that at all. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. She was just looking at the camera. How do I get any work done? It's impossible. Heads up, knowledge cock time. No eye contact, you know the rules. Coast to coast. All right, very nice. Let me crank up this house. That's a good girl. Oh, and she's done. All right, let's get into a throwback. Again, you ready to join the Swole fam? swolenormousx.com. Let's go. Dum, 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 dum. We'll do this one. Let me see. Nope. Don't want to see her face ever again. Skipping that one. Let's see. Did we do that? I don't think we did this one. We might have. Who knows? They're all the same, kind of. Here we go. Septum piercing, by the way. Shaved head. Rainbow shirt. You got all those things check marked off. I'm sure we got a bunch of acronyms in the bio.
I've been on and off of diets pretty much my whole life.
And it hasn't worked.
And weight cycling is part of the reason I am the size I am today.
Go to the gym.
Weight cycling has nothing to do with it. You eating garbage foods and doing shitty diet. That's what has led you to where you're at today. If you choose shitty diets, they're going to fail 100% of the time. Like, there's a lot of ways not to make fire until you find the way to make fire.
The thing about diets is that they don't work.
No, not if you're good at it.
I went vegan.
Well, there you go. Vegan is not the answer.
I did intermittent fasting.
Bullshit.
And I worked out once a day. And I lost 80 pounds. But then...
Until you stopped?
I gained it all back.
Okay, I lost 80 pounds and it was great until I changed my fucking habits and then destroyed my health again.
Because weight cycling causes you to do that.
No, you started stuffing your fucking face again. Oh, weight cycling. Now, I'm not sure if we've done that before, because sometimes we see the same people, but I just pulled up another throwback, and we've done this a couple times. It never gets old. So guess what? How about a double throwback? How about a DT? How about a DT? A DTBT? Who's ready for another? Why not? Let's double up. Let's double up on Swole Sut Saturday, because we're not doing one for the next couple days. Let's do a throwback. Come on, guys. You know this one. So I'm an infinifat, meaning I wear 30 plus clothing. Damn! No, you're not infinifat. You're fucking fat, or you're fat as fuck. I use the disabled toilet because that's what I need to do. But they're still not very fat friendly. Things are put as close together as possible, giving me no space to wipe myself. Wipe. If you can't fucking wipe your own ass, you need some serious Never gets help. old. I'm luckily flexible and do what I call wipe yoga. I have to take off my bottoms and often one shoe to be able to place my leg on the wall or something else to balance on to wipe.
That was fucked up.
It's exhausting, and this time I'm at the National Museum in Cardiff, and the bloody toilets are down a flight of stairs. The lift doesn't work. I can and do walk up and down stairs. But what about the people who can't? It's bullshit. And then guess what she posts? She posts that fucking shit. If you're calling yourself infinifat, what you're doing is you are justifying being obese. You're saying, oh, this is okay, I'm an infinifat. No, you're fucking fat.
You understand?
It's frustrating when someone types all that shit and then shows that she's eating burgers and fries. I wonder why you're infinifat. I wonder why you have to do yoga to wipe your own ass. Oh my God, all right. I agree, Stephanie.
Emotional damage.
All right. SH says, wouldn't it be easier to drop 20 pounds than to take your pants off in public? You would think so, but you'd be wrong. Think so. Okay. Follow us, follow the podcast, Rumble, Spotify, Apple Podcast, YouTube, The Daily Swole, everywhere. Check the links, share the podcast with your friends. Thanks for watching. Swole fam in the Daily Swole Telegram chat. Check out the merch, papasolio.com, Forest Pump, epic new design, probably my favorite. This color, this like light blue with the feather, looks fucking awesome. Look at that. Look at that. I love it. All right. Thanks for being here. We'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow is Ask Papa Solio Live. So if you want to call into the show, askpapasolio.com. Submit a question, Instagram, Swole fam, Telegram, Facebook. Tomorrow, pure questions, Red, White, and Swole, Sunday, Funny Q&A. And then Monday, we have an accountability meeting. Again, super awesome. Check out the overtime segment. Check out the Drive While Gaining that we posted yesterday. It's available now. Go do your wipe yoga this weekend. I'm just kidding. Don't do that. We'll see you tomorrow for the Q and Anus 2697. We'll see you tomorrow. Peace, McGeese, Deuce, Magoose, your boy, Papa Swolio. Out.
Crazy flow, need a straight jacket. Cash flow, I'm a bank addict. 6 subs, had the bass smacking. 808, had the place clapping. 3 girls is enough for me, so I pull out like the stock crashing. Like an IPO, trying to purchase me. This a private sector, so you can't have it. Faking all that boom bapping. Who you think you is, boy? 90s want they sound back, so I give rap all these fake rappers as I take matters in my own hands. I don't need rapping, I don't need Zans. I don't need help, I'm a grown man. Now they can't laugh and they so mad, it's like
then yeah, I found that young king with my crown at 10 racks in the fanny pack, couple hundred in the Louis bag.
That's a bed that you made. That's a bed that you made. That's a bed that you laid. That's a bed that you laid. What kind of game is you playing? We go hard in the paint. We go hard in the paint. What the fuck is you saying? What the fuck is you saying? I only go where they pay. What kind of game is you playing? Yeah, whoa, my shit is relevant. On topic, my melanin is popping. I'm taking skeletons on closets and making new deposits. I'm in my element, no ollies.